What's really funny is I saw this on a TikTok. I can show you on a bucket, use a wet sponge to sand. No one ever does that because no one ever looks at the bucket.
So we're back in the extra bedroom and I am trying to finish up some drywall work, but I wanted to show you quickly what I've done with the drywall so far. And then tomorrow I've got my drywall guy coming and I'm gonna interview him and ask him some questions and hopefully get some really great professional advice from him. He is literally a magician at mudding walls and finishing stuff. So this is the main wall on the inside of the bedroom. This is the second coat of mud. There were some really deep areas like right there where I was trying to fill in gaps. Also right here too. It's far from perfect, but I'll put some photos up on the screen of what it used to look like. This is in way better shape now than what it was before. So I don't know how easy it is to see, but most of the transitions between the previous wall and the new drywall, there's quite a dip. So I did my best to feather that out, but trust me, once my guy gets here tomorrow and he does his job, it's gonna be like there was, I can't even explain it. He's amazing what he does. This is Brian. Get you in focus. So Brian is a professional.
That's me.
This is what you do for a living. What did you just say a minute ago about the brush?
When you're a professional, you don't need a brush.
Yeah, you forgot a brush.
Don't believe that.
So can you?
It's in the van.
Can you kind of explain what you're doing right now?
I am priming the wall to be able to, when I apply my easy sand quick set material, that I control the quickness of the set time.
Okay.
A lot of times when you're using mud, it will take longer to dry and set on the painted surfaces versus new drywall. I'm a drywall repair specialist, plaster and drywall repair specialist.
Okay. That sounds a little more legit than what you said yesterday.
What did I say yesterday?
Very cool. So you got the paints going on. Once this dries, then you'll start the mudding process?
I'll put some nylon mesh tape over the joints.
Okay.
And then we will start mudding, yes.
So I know, just getting this on camera, one of the biggest issues I had, not to distract you, or at least I would say that I would have to fix if I didn't have access to you, would be leveling out between the existing wall and the new drywall, because it's just not level.
It's not.
Or even.
Right. Yes, 35 years of practice does help you with that. Also, I'm a plasterer by trade, not a drywaller, so I'm using a trowel. It flattens it out better. And my trowel will tell me if there's a low spot or a high spot.
Okay.
I use a 13-inch trowel.
Oh, no.
That's not bad for somebody that says they don't know what they're doing.
If you gave me a score or a rating, how did I do?
Oh, I would say this is about an 8.5 out of 10.
I'll take it.
Yeah, no, this is not a bad job. Because you kept it tight.
Yeah.
A lot of people that get into mudding, they don't understand. They have to keep it tight. You got to keep your mud tight, because if not, you end up with too much mud on the wall, and then you got to sand it down. But due to the fact we don't sand.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you explain that? Because
I'm a plasterer. I'm a
sands.
plasterer by trade. Yeah. Because of that, I know how to use the material that will make it smooth enough. And my tools I use, one of my major tools is a trowel.
Yeah.
This is a 12 by 13. 13 by 5. Let's get it right. Get that edited right there. Yeah. Let's try a 13 by 5 trowel. Yeah. It's flat. It's a Marshalltown. There you go, Marshalltown. It's flat. And when you see the mud going, you'll see how good it goes.
Yeah.
This particular tape is what they call a plaster veneer tape.
Okay.
It's what a lot of plasterers use. You cannot use nylon mesh self-adhesive tape with bucket mud as your base coat. You have to use quick set material. Easy Sand, Durabond. It has the ability to crack. Coming from experience of having to fix it. Not using it. I don't use bucket mud to mud.
These are the gems I was looking for. So out of the van, his mixologist, which happened to be Brian's son, started mixing the mud he would put on the wall while he applied the tape. They did mention that they usually set up this table and they do all the mixing on it, but for a small job like mine, he did everything in the back of his work van. I didn't ask the specifics on the ratio of water to powder, but once he was finished with the mix, it reminded me of a Frosty from Wendy's. Hopefully you can see the final consistency on screen. I actually really like that their attachment is being run by a Ryobi tool. Once he was done balancing the mix, he used the drill to mix it for about a minute, getting it all even. Nice. So what's the trick here?
Keeping it flat.
Keeping it flat.
Keeping the pressure in the right place on the trowel. Learning how to hold your trowel so that you got pressure all the way across it. And getting it on without dropping it.
Yeah.
It took me about 2.5 years to really become efficient and effective with where you feel confident.
Yeah.
Don't leave it like this. This is me getting it out of the pan.
Any advice for a DIY or someone who might try to do this themselves?
Use bucket mud and keep it tight. Multiple layers is not a problem.
So when you say keep it tight, can you explain that a little bit?
So a lot of guys, they want to like make it real heavy.
Okay.
Well, we'll see if we can. So if I make it heavy and I leave an edge, I have to sand that edge down or I have to blend it out.
Yeah.
So what I mean by tight is I don't care if there's a little bit of tape showing, but look at my edges. My edges are going to blend into, this is sort of my rough coat. Once this gets hard, I will just take and scrape off these lines. These lines will just disappear. This is not typical conventional drywall repairs. This is a plaster's concept on repairing drywall. And then I scratch it down. I scratch down what I call scratch down my second coat. The less you put on, the less you have to sand. So keeping it tight is a way of not having to sand a lot.
And then your final step, this is where you eliminate having
completely
to sand
it.
Yeah.
Is I use a purple lid joint compound, which is bucket mud.
Okay.
And I wipe it on and wipe it off. I don't really leave anything on. And what's really funny is I saw this on a TikTok. I didn't know it was there. I can show you on a bucket. It says use a wet sponge to sand with. It says it on the bucket. No one ever does that though.
All right, so where are we at now?
All right, so we've let the Easy Sand 20 set. It's hard. You can see I'm touching it and not making any marks in it. You can see my fingers, but I mean it's not the mud's set. So now I take the back of my trowel and I'm just scraping and making those lines disappear.
Interesting.
Now, remember we talked about the primer versus non-primer?
Yeah.
This is all primed.
Yeah.
Nice and hard. Turn around. This is what I want. Or however you want to do it. This is no primer.
Yeah.
Mud's still wet. Now, if I wouldn't have done that to the rest of it, I'd be sitting here for a long time.
Yeah.
This. So I wet it a little bit, and then I wipe it down, and it takes the lines out. Can you see it? There it is. And you just kind of use the sponge to.
So there is nothing there.
Yeah. So it's the same as up here. I sort of did this already.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, you know. And then when you're done, you can feel this, feel how smooth it is. I call it chasing a line. Just chase the wall line.
Till it's gone.
And then you feel it and it's all smooth.
It's amazing.
And I put one more coat on it.
Yeah.
I wipe it on and literally wipe it off. So the residue that's left gives it a final consistency, all looks the same. And then I take the sponge. And you kind of get the idea is that I blend it in. And no sanding.
No sanding. No sanding at all.
No sanding.
It's amazing. I wish you could see this in person. The video does not do it justice. It's amazing how smooth the wall is, even with no sanding done to it. If you're curious how we got to this point, check out this video.